Heading to the mall. We're at Lids looking at custom hats. We're gonna try to get like a cheap seat hat. I like that they have a full-on DJ and trivia night in the middle of the food court in the mall. That's empty. Also a bar. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Well, we at least got one hat. We were looking at other hats to maybe make with the logo, like the Cheap Seats logo in that area, and in any event, playing around with different ideas. So back home from the mall, we did get a just a quick mock-up type of hat because I wanted to play around with ideas for just the quarter panel and what we can do. I do want to work on a new logo, and we do have a bunch of ideas, as well as a different graphic for like the site and everything. I think there's a couple of things we wanted to reboot and put out there. I'm not very big on putting out merchandise and shirts and things, but hats are one thing that I think are synonymous, I think, at least with me. And I know that I wear them all the time at least, so I know I would get a lot of use out of them. As well as a different type of a design for a shirt that we had. So hopefully we'll have that out relatively soon. Basically all I needed to do with this was get like an idea for sizing and stuff like that. So in any event, folks kept asking for a while for us to do some type of blinky shirt and that type of merchandise because we did that saying for a bit in our videos. I think we're going to cool it on that for a little bit. Before we put anything out, somebody else put it out, so more power to them. I think for us, it's kind of a done deal at this point because I don't want to make it seem like we're copying anything at all. So, you know, we'll move beyond blinky term. It was a good term while it lasted. And that said, I'm afraid to actually say what the other ideas were for logos and hats and everything that we had because somebody else might take that before we put something out too. So trust me, it's cool, and hopefully have it something up, like I said, relatively soon, hopefully during Halloween Horror Night season. So while I'm sitting here watching YouTube videos, one thing actually jumped out as a question because we did have a couple of videos that we put out in the past that were demonetized. And for folks that don't know what that means that YouTube, through their ad partner, decided that they were not appropriate videos to farm out to their advertisers to make revenue. And that's basically how YouTubers make money, is through the ads that YouTube brokers for you. So there's been a big cry lately about videos being censored. It's not so much the videos are being censored, but YouTube's guidelines have shifted a little bit, at least the internal factor for how they're deciding what videos they want to take monetization off of, and it's applied it to a broader term. So like if you have certain keywords or certain videos that are about, it could even be news clip related things like about war, you know, or things that are like gory or stuff like that, chances are your videos could potentially be demonetized. So with that said, and there's so many different channels that I've seen pop up lately, especially everybody is, you know, the Halloween Horror Nights updating vlogs and everything. There seems to be an endless amount of content out there now on YouTube, whether it's for the Orlando event or for the Hollywood event, really more around Orlando. It seems like everybody that has a phone or a camera is kind of filming stuff and putting things on YouTube. But I wonder how many people would do so if the videos were not able to be monetized. So I'm just kind of throwing that possibility out there that it's funny that there's you know, that line with YouTube now where you're not really sure of what's going to get approved or not. And you know, they're really looking for more like family-friendly type videos on their service that they at least would put ads on. They're not going to take the videos off of YouTube, so you would still have the capability of having your videos out there. But how many people would do it for free? If you're a YouTuber or you have a channel and you're watching things, let me know what your thoughts are down below. I know, like what I've said before, is we would do it regardless of the money that's coming in, because it's not like you're making a lot of money anyway. But there's an awful lot of work, I think, that goes into making videos that folks don't realize. You know, it could be hours of editing for a very small video. I mean, watching like 10-15 minute video could be like 3 or 4 hours worth of editing. I'm just curious to see if folks would put in that effort if there was no possibility whatsoever of making any revenue from their products. Along the same lines as videos potentially not making revenue on YouTube, one interesting story came out in the music community, I think it was yesterday or the day before, where Motley Crue is being sued by a couple of photographers for work that they shot of the band in their studios, and this is going back, I believe, decades ago, but the pictures were used in merchandise that was sold on Motley Crue's last tour. So photos were shot of the band on the photographer's dime, basically using their lights, their film, their equipment, their studios, etc. And the photographers were never compensated for the merchandise that was sold off of, kind of the work off of their backs. Interesting situation, at least from where I'm sitting, because I see, like, at least with Universal Studios in Orlando, quite oftentimes if folks are tweeting out pictures on social media, the Universal team will hit them back and say, can you please let us know if we can use this for anything in our future advertising, merchandise, etc. And you tweet back either yes, Universal, or no, or whatever. And if you're basically saying yes, it means you're giving somebody your work for free. So it kind of raised one of those age-old questions of, is exposure worth it if, you're not getting paid for something down the line, considering that somebody else is making money off of the work that you're putting in, even though you're at the park or you're at whatever situation. I know at least for professional photographers, it's always a fine line of making sure that you're getting paid and credited for the work that you do. So maybe it's just something that I'm sensitive about recently, because I think we're up to like attempt number 5 or 6 at this point, that my videos, I keep finding them from other sources on YouTube where they keep getting stolen and put up there. So I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. And one last theme park thing that I'm thinking about: if you are going to Halloween Horror Nights, I'm not giving additional updates around props that are being put into the scare zones and all that good stuff. We'll cover that stuff when we go to employee preview next week. But in the meantime, if you want a different type of insight from somebody who's working the event as a scare actor and won an award last year as one of the better scare actors of the event, I encourage you guys to check out Andrew R. Davis's channel. And we'll put the link down below. But he's got a couple of videos with some additional insight into some of the houses so far. And I think he's covered The Walking Dead and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Exorcist to date. And he's continuing through the other houses as we kind of count down the days into the event. But well worth checking out his channel. His channel's very funny and very informative. And he's also a pretty nice guy. And so this is excitement on a Wednesday night, but should really be a Tuesday night. It kind of feels like Tuesday. There's not a whole lot going on.
No.
By the way, we're both rocking shades of gray. It's almost time for Mary to dye her hair. There's the inside the magic, or behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes this weekend.
Yeah.
It'll be nice and red back again.
And folks always ask about this, by the way, and I'm not embarrassed to say that, should the day come that anyone ever watches this video from Just for Men, I would be happy to take a sponsorship and plug you every single day. Just like Keith Hernandez and Walt Frazier. This stuff is marvelous. It happens when your genes either make your hair go away or make you turn gray from a very
really early age.
Yeah, so, and that's
16 is when I started.
Yeah, it's kind of been the case with both of us.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I think in my mother's side of the family, like everybody had pure white hair by the time that they were in their mid-20s.
Oh yeah.
So. And I finally caught up on watching Stranger Things last night.
Did you watch the last episode?
Yeah.
How'd you like the
I
last
stayed up
scene?
till 1 o'clock in the morning watching this TV show. I've now watched more TV in the last 4 days than I think I've watched in the last 365 days.
I know.
I liked it. I think the last episode, it kind of ties up some ends there. And I know that they renewed it for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I know everybody, I think every single review I've seen of Stranger Things has said it's kind of like an E.T. type of thing, and I get that vibe, with kids. But I kind of thought it was more like Goonies.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was like.
Goonies type adventuring, and I really thought it was more like X-Files, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's like a Goonies meets the X-Files.
Yeah, it's really X-Files-ish type of show. That's the kind of vibe I got from it.
I love it. I mean, X-Files was one of my favorite shows when I was younger.
I mean, there's a couple things. That show, I genuinely liked. Twice, that's 2 genuinely, so it's good. I really liked it. Lost is my favorite TV show of all time, so I really love those types of, thinking sci-fi type of shows. But there were some things in it that I think didn't make sense. And it was towards like the last 2 episodes. I think the season had like definite peaks and valleys as far as holding my interest. But overall, I mean, if you've got Netflix and you like the stuff that we typically watch, like movie-wise and TV-wise, like sci-fi, comics, horror type of stuff, I can't see you not watching that show. It's free. It's Netflix only, and it was really good. The music thing still bugged me even all the time, like the last episode where we're playing songs from all over the.
I don't really pay attention.
Timeline. Yeah, I don't think most people do, but overall, story was great. The acting was great. I know that like the 2 kids I think are at Spooky Empire at the end of the month or in a couple weeks. So another month, October. I don't remember what Spooky is. I'm sure, and folks ask us if we're going to go to Spooky. I'm probably sure. I'm pretty sure that we're going to go at least one day. They had approached us to go and film there at one point, and I honestly don't know if we'll be back for that amount of time. There's so many things going on at the end of the month, or at the within these 2 months. And I kind of apologize for everything being a little bit boring or slowed down over the last couple of days. There's really not a whole lot going on, and folks are asking like when we're going to get back to Universal and show more props. Josh Solomon did a really great video, about the props, and we'll put a link to that also down below.
I've never commented on any YouTube channel ever, and he was the first one I commented because it was just awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how many times you can keep going back and saying like, look, here's a new box, or. I've only seen the pictures and the videos of the pod-looking things from the Banshee Scare Zone. It reminds me a lot of the pods from Spinal Tap. But in any event,
funny.
They look like this. But in any event, we're going to be at Universal, or I'm going to be at least next week, like pretty much like 4 or 5 days in a row. So I don't want to kill people with Universal stuff now. I wanted to try to get to a Disney park at some point this week. And that's proving tough too. And folks ask like, what concert are we going to, or am I going to on Friday? I'm actually taking my mom to go see Maroon 5.
Isn't he a nice son?
Yeah. So, and Mary will be doing whatever.
I'll be all by myself because you're gonna be doing something. Jesse's hanging out doing something.
Oh well.
I get to have sushi and wine all by myself.
And then I think Saturday I'm gonna head off to do something in the morning, and then then maybe hit like a park or something on the way in the middle of the day. So there's stuff happening. It's just not that great of a week. So
I get to get like wash machine and dryer delivery.
Yeah,
that's
so
my fun Saturday.
This one's pretty boring, or whatever. This one's boring. That's the second part of it for Mary, at least on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
But it'll be great. So in the background, you won't hear any more and the ding 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 type noises. So. Well, before we go, there is one thing that I can show you guys that was pretty cool. If you have a Books A Million near you, we always go hunting in the clearance section. This book, Back to the Future: The Ultimate Visual History, was on clearance for $15. I don't know what the normal price was. It may have even been geared towards that price to begin with, but it's not only a hardcover book with pictures and stories of how they made the movie. When you go through the book, it has a ton of inserts. So it's very similar to like that Guns N' Roses VIP book that I showed you. Like, check out this picture. Oh, it's magic. There's a flyer for Saving the Clock Tower. And then you can see there's tons of stories on how they made the movie and behind the scenes and all of that good stuff. Like an interesting memo from MCA to Steven Spielberg where they're asking for them to change the title from Back to the Future to Spaceman from Pluto. Kind of has the same ring to it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a tardy slip for Marty McFly because he's a slacker. They have the letter that Marty writes to Doc. And here it is. I love things like this. Here's the mock cover for A Match Made in Space from George McFly. We actually have this book up on our shelf inside with our Back to the Future stuff. It's money with Biff's picture on it. The picture with Marty and Doc with the clock tower from Back to the Future 3. So obviously, the book covers all 3 Back to the Future movies. And it's a letter from Western Union that Doc sent to Marty. So, I don't know. I think it's pretty awesome. $15, tons of stuff to look at. And reading these types of things are usually what keeps me from watching TV for, 8 hours straight for a Netflix show.
And then my brain turns to mush.
In any event, I think that's going to do it for tonight. So thank you for all of your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Do it!
Back to the Future, the ride. Concept art. Bring it back. Bring it back, Universal. Bring it back.